Good evening, Team Beast. For those of you who join us for the very first time, thank you for clicking on Beast Capacity Outdoors. I'm Daddy Beast, your leader, Team Beast, and this is Chainmaille Monday. What I'm doing is, this is no way a how-to video at all. This is just a quick time-lapse video, well, about an 7-minute time-lapse video of me going through making a Byzantine jingle bracelet or scaled bracelet for a good friend of mine and customer up north, well, yeah, central northern California. But anyhow, I was just doing this to kind of show you everyone what goes through the process of putting these things together. This took me about roughly 2 hours to put together. These are 5/32 size rings at 18 gauge, and I got a couple of jeweler's pliers, and then of course some red scales. Now I have to open each ring or close it, butt it up against each other, so that way I can basically knit the wire together or hook them together in such a way that it creates a design. And the design being a box style chain, to which I add another set of rings or another ring and a scale too at the end of it, or at the end of the when I finish the length of the chain. For those that don't know what the price of chainmaille can be, it can be very expensive actually. It is very time consuming. Most of us will do it while sitting watching TV, listening to the radio, you know, that kind of thing. But sitting in a car, sitting on a couch, driving almost anywhere we can do stuff. Sometimes you can do what are speed sets or speed groupings, and that's where you can have a whole bunch of prepped pieces ready to go, where you just have to tie a whole bunch of those pieces together. I'm not doing a European 4-in-1, which is your typical chainmaille that you see on armor in medieval movies. Those are fairly fast to put together if you have what are called speed rings, and that's one ring with 4 rings attached to it, so that way you can lay them out in a pattern of a 5, you know, like like the dots on a 6-sided dice. Kind of lays out like that, and then you lay a whole bunch of those together in a row, and then you just take one single open ring and weave them together. Excuse me. And so you do that over and over and over many times. If you make them out of steel or stainless steel or galvanized steel or raw steel or something like that, it can be very, very, very heavy. Even this little bracelet would be very heavy compared to the aluminum rings that I am using. They are aluminum alloy, so they're a little bit stronger than just aluminum can style, and they hold together fairly well. What you didn't get to see in this video is me putting together a dragon tail and a bracelet. And what that is a whole bunch of the scales laid on top of each other, almost like a dragon's scale or a fish scale would lay, one right on top of the other, and they were attached to each other, and then they go around the wrist and fan out. Really cool looking, actually. And that's called a dragon's tail. Now, because of the time involved and the materials involved, some materials are expensive. Stainless steel, of course, is more expensive than aluminum or anodized aluminum, because you can get these in color other than just the silver. They can come all sorts of colors depending on the anodizing. Now, speaking on prices of rings, stainless steels are more expensive than the aluminums. The regular steel is a little bit less expensive than stainless. There's also jewelry style rings. So your gold, your bronze, your copper, and your brass. Those are more expensive than the aluminum rings. You can get sterling silver. You can get platinum. Those are super expensive because you got to pay for it by the ounce. And of course, and so on and so forth. We even have titanium, which is light, very light, and niobium. Niobium is a very colorful style metal, but it's also light, but it is just as strong as steel. Excuse me. But anyhow, this bracelet here, which you'll see at the end, runs about $25 base, and it all depends, of course, on length needed and stuff like that. But I hope you enjoyed this. Is just a little something extra I do on the side to make a little cash here and there, and for fun. But thought you guys would enjoy seeing a little bit of the process, even though it was in time lapse of stuff being put together, so you can see the reason why, if you see these at Renaissance fairs and stuff, that the price is justified. This is what goes into it. Like I said, this took me about 2 hours. But anyhow, as always, like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you'd like to leave a talk to me about something, go ahead and leave a comment. If you don't want to talk about something in the public forum, go ahead and drop me an email, which will be down below in the description. So as always, be good, be kind, Team Beast, all the way.